Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to look at the first episode of The Little Drummer Girl, which is a new show. It's an AMC and BBC production, based on a book by the same person who did Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, you told me yesterday.
I believe so. John Le Carre.
There you go. I would never have known his name, which is
I've,
why
I've,
I,
I've-
which is why I was
which might
handing it
not
over to
even be
you.
right. That might not be his name, but for some reason that's in my head.
Okay, so if that's wrong,
Yeah, this is the in terms of the behind the scenes, production wise.
yeah.
This is the same production team that did The Night Manager a couple of years
Hmm.
ago, which was another one of his novels.
Yeah, it's okay. Which had a lot of good buzz when it came out. I never saw it, but had a lot of good buzz. So we'll start spoiler free because it's the first episode as well as this is a 6 episode series, and obviously it's a sort of espionage thriller type thing. Um, uh, Basically, an Israelite is their house is bombed in Munich, and a team of Israelis want to try and put a stop to these bombings. It's set in the past, of course, and they essentially are going to try and turn an English actress into a double agent, even though she has no past in any type of service or anything like that. So, um, not that we get to a bunch of that in the first episode, really. It kind of ends with a tease of that's where it's going.
Yeah,
Again, we're keeping spoiler free, but the first episode is mainly just here's the crisis, here's the threat, here's the motivation, and here's the character that this actress is. But we don't really get any of the her becoming part of anything yet
mm.
in this episode. So that's the gist of it, and I assume following episodes will have her actually trying to infiltrate and actually trying to
Yeah, whatever it is she's meant to be doing.
yeah, because the villains are this family of four brothers who've been bombing for a long time in Israel specifically, but
Yeah,
now they're branching out and hitting targets that are related to Israel but else around the world. So yeah, what did you think? Did you like it?
it's all right. I don't love it.
Hmm. More positive than me because I was bored to tears.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was kind of weirdly cheesy at points.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying.
Like the opening sequence is waiting for the bomb to go off. We just said that's the opening like 2 or 3 minutes,
Yeah,
and it's
because it's worth mentioning the reason why they think they can use this actress is because these brothers have been known to use Western girls, and because the opening scene has a woman who's kind of there to plant the bomb at this
yeah,
house,
yeah,
and that's kind of the line of thought.
and so it does this thing with the like all the clocks and the watches. They're all ticking. Like it introduces
Yeah,
them one at a time. They're all ticking, and it's getting more and more. I kind of felt a little bit cheesy. Like it was so over the top.
yeah. It's funny though because I think the over the top moments, the few that are there, are kind of the only times where I wasn't kind of half asleep.
Okay.
Now, Joe, it's funny. That's the reason why we even are watching this. The reason why I was remotely interested in this was because it's directed by Park Chan Wook, or Chan Wook Park, if I say his name the right way around. And the reason why I say that, or the reason why I'm excited for that, is because I love his films. I love Old Boy. I love Stoker, which was his first English speaking film. Sympathy for Midge Vengeance, Thirst, bunch of stuff. Right, fantastic director. I love the dude. Um, what's funny is that Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, also the same guy's book. I hated that movie. I thought it was the most boring thing. I fell asleep twice in the theater watching that damn thing. And what's weird about that is that it's directed by the same guy who did Let the Right One In, a film which I absolutely love. So he's 2 for 2. This asshole is 2 for 2 for me in taking a filmmaker that I think is masterful and just turning it into this sleep-inducing dreck. What is this guy's shtick?
You really don't like these, do you?
He's secretly trying to cure insomnia or something. I don't. It's maddening.
Oh, it's funny. Because I quite like Tinker Tailor, for the record. I think it's a very, very fascinating and interesting movie. I like it more than I do this first episode, I'll tell you that.
Sure. I mean, you got Michael Shannon and Alexander Skarsgård in here. It's sort of the big names. Florence Pugh, the actress, Charlie. Uh, I'm curious to why because Michael Shannon strikes me as a very serious actor. He likes to take serious roles, and not that this isn't that, but I wonder like what led to him saying, "Oh, I want to play someone who's foreign. I want to do an accent."
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you.
What led to that choice? Because it feels like the sort of thing that some actors would shy away from if they're serious at it. Like, either way, unless they're like, no, I can do it. I can get it within. I'll convince everyone. I'm really from
And he
Israel.
doesn't do a bad job, to be fair.
It's not terrible. But it was distracting just because I'm like, wait, you don't sound like that normally. What are
Yeah,
you
just
doing?
because you're familiar with him.
Yeah. Um, and Skarsgård's almost mute, which made me think of Mute because he's mute in that movie because it's called Mute.
Yeah,
In case you didn't get that, and that was not a good
this is
movie.
better than that movie.
I don't know if I agree with that. I wasn't bored in that movie. That movie was bad, but it was doing insane things. It was at least making me engaged.
Yeah, I can't argue with
At
that.
least I was sitting up in that and going, "They're doing what now? What?
But
What's happening?"
just on a fundamental level, this is better made than that movie.
Harder to watch, but sure.
Yeah.
If it's not clear already, we're not doing episode 2 of this. I'm not going anywhere near the rest of this crap, right? I'm not doing it. This is boring as shit.
I watched this and I warned you. I was like, you might not be into this one.
Not even remotely. Not even.
Yeah,
Not even a little
I was
bit.
like, I just knew. I was like, yeah, I don't see you being that into this one.
No, this is just not
So
my
this
thing.
does not come as a surprise to me.
No, this is not my thing. And I'm using some very harsh words here, but this is just not for me, right? If you like it, great, go love it. I'm not going to take it away from you. But I hated it. And I love the director, which is,
Yeah,
this is the
it's
baffling
fantastic.
thing to me here. But I felt like there was only a couple of moments here or there where I felt a little directorial flair. Most of the time it was just kind of,
Mm,
like the one moment was there's a scene in Greece where there's like some shadows stuff going on. It's a little bit cheesy, but it's kind of cheesy in a nice kind of romantic way. And I was like, oh yeah, I can see Chan Park doing this. Like I can see him having this in one of his other movies.
yeah, there's a bit when they're up at the Parthenon in Athens, and that stuff looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the way it was shot. If I'm correct, I think it's the first time that they've been allowed to shoot there at night for a TV show. They're the first show to get permission for it.
So the line about "oh, you bribed a guard to get in" was actually kind of a meta joke about
Yeah,
not really being able to go there.
yeah. Which I appreciated, just because I'm like, if you know that and you get the little joke, it's amusing.
Why is it closed at night?
No, I don't know. No
Just
idea.
curious.
And,
It seems like a
I-
pretty spot to be in at night. Is there?
yeah, I think it's to do with preservation. A lot of structural damage, and they're trying to restore it at the moment, I believe. And just I guess they just don't want people there making it worse. Seems fair.
Yeah. So obviously, I think it's dull. I think the pacing for me was snail's pace. There wasn't anything to engage me in most of the scenes, and I think the one thing that was supposed to engage me, which is the lead character Charlie, the actress, is that I found her kind of unlikable like most of the time.
Did you?
Yeah, like I had a hard time like it was fine at first when she was because I got it. Okay, she's like this mysterious stranger in Greece, right? Oh, that's kind of Skarsgård who's not speaking. She's the one who's skeptical and thinking, oh, he's probably a thief or something, right? I get the joke here. She's going to be the one who's actually going to end up being romantically involved with him, right? That's what you do.
Yeah.
Fine, but like even after there was kind of like sparks, she just. It's like she was ruining all the romance by being her. It was weird.
Just to maybe clarify here, are you thinking it's the acting or the just in the script?
Not the acting. This is the script. This is the character.
Yeah, because I didn't think there was a problem with her performance.
No, it's not the
portraying
performance.
these.
It's like they want her to be this really like confrontational character, and it's fine up until a point because you get what because it's almost like the start of a slasher movie in some ways. But there's the one smart one, right? She kind of comes across as that at first.
Yeah.
But then it keeps going, and she keeps having these like really just like she so again spoilers, right? Full spoilers for the episode. I need to get to the bottom of this. So she accepts to go on a trip with this guy she barely knows. She's got enough of a spark that she agrees to go on a trip with them into Greece, into Athens, right? Sorry,
Yeah, she's already in Greece.
into Athens, right? So she's leaving her friends, the safety of her friend group, for a few days with a guy she barely knows. and then she still complains at him about the insinuations of her being there, and them going up to, and having these romantic moments, and the kiss, and it's all these things, and it's like, you agreed to go on a trip, like what? I mean, he's actually been quite reserved for agreeing to go on a trip with them to Athens for a few days.
Someone you literally just met. Yeah, I agree.
But you agreed to do this. You could have just said no. We didn't even get to see her agree. It just cut to her arriving there with him, and I'm like, oh, I guess she did decide to go. Okay.
Joe, I think one of my biggest problems with this episode is how scattershot it is. There's so many various threads which start to come together by the end. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, the ending kind of pulls them together a little bit.
But I feel like we're cutting around so much that we never sit in one place for more than a minute. 2 minutes.
The first 10 minutes have so many captions telling you what location we're in that I start not to take it in after a while. I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ, we're jumping around.
It just stops mattering.
And at one point, did Michael Shannon, because he was obviously in Munich,
yes,
because of the bombing, did he travel back to Israel for a while and then come back to Munich?
I'm not sure why.
I thought there was a scene where, because I just thought it was like we're jumping around all over the place. Even the characters are like flying to and from countries.
It might have been, because like I said, I kind of stopped paying attention to the captions like you. Like it stopped mattering when you have 10 in the space of 4 minutes.
Yeah. Because I think you're supposed to really like Charlie. I think you're supposed to be behind it, and I think what they should have done with this episode is after the bombing, and after the first scene of Shannon showing up to like start the arrangements, I would have not shown any more of that. I'd have stuck with Charlie and her friends and just told the story of how she gets like drawn in, and just make it a character piece for the rest of the episode, and just have that one moment at the end when Shannon steps out of the door and you realise this is all connected, and just have that be the second time you see him. I
get that, and I think you maybe wanted some more stuff fleshed out with Charlie in this sense, but what I do is I do that, but just cut the runtime down. That might just pick up the pacing a little bit overall. If you lose 10 minutes of this stuff that you're cutting away to, and just focus on Charlie and have this solid character piece, and maybe it'll feel a bit more focused and it'll go in a bit quicker.
Yeah, I feel like even taking out all those bits though and just leaving the Charlie stuff, she's still kind of a frustrating character the more it goes on. It
is. I just think in terms of the pacing, it might have a bit more of a flow to it, rather than feeling like it's interrupted every 5 minutes.
I think what this is missing for me is like genuine character. Like it feels like they're all there to service this espionage plot that we're going to do, as opposed to actually giving me time to actually care about why Shannon's so invested in doing this beyond it just being his job. Because it seems a bit more personal, right? It seems like he cares about these brothers, these swines. That
he's got a history with them, I'm sure.
Yeah, and these little things, and it's one of the things that sometimes gets me when I don't like a lot of spy stuff, is the jumping around a lot, all these details over character. Like if you make me care about a character, then I'll care because they care.
Yeah.
As it is, I'm just kind of like. This is as far as the villains are concerned right now. It's no deeper for me right now than say an episode of like NCIS or something like that. It's just they're the bad guy. They blew up something, right? Okay.
I mean that's fair. I mean, it was a bit more stylish. Don't get me wrong, but
sure,
the opening sequence could have been the start of an episode of NCIS.
It absolutely could have been. There's no distinguishing factor really. And it's really bad though. It's like this is a 55-minute episode, but by the 10-minute mark, I knew how I felt. And it wasn't really going to win me over past that point. And nothing it did after that really did.
Yeah, I definitely don't dislike it as much. I was never bored. I think, like I said, I think it's got problems. I don't think Charlie's that unlikable. I don't think that she's particularly likable. She's kind of just a bit, either or for me. I do think it's got pacing problems, and it's cutting around far too much. But I was never bored.
And that's not to say that I like anyone else. I'm criticizing Charlie because I feel like I'm supposed to like her.
No, yeah, she's supposed to be the thing that you latch onto, and is the thing we're going to follow into this world.
Do you know what I think part of the problem is as well? I feel like for the first half of the episode, or first third, I'd have to check what the times were, but I felt like her stuff felt like the side plot. It felt like, why are we cutting to this random actress? Because it felt more focused on all the bombings and the
Until we
investigation.
got to her actually in Greece.
Yeah.
All the stuff that's in England with her, it was like, what's the point of this? What are we
Yeah.
doing? It was just, oh, here's 30 seconds to check in where they are, and then once they got to Greece and we cut to them on the beach. That's when it became a bit more of a significant part of the episode.
Yeah, once it got to that, it felt like she was now the focus of the show, as opposed to before that stuff where it just felt like she was a side character, and I think that's kind of part of the problem as well.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to latch on to, and I was bored, so I have very little to say or enthusiasm to give.
That's fair. I have one of my problems in terms of just like plot things was so she's on the beach in Greece, and she waves at this woman. She's like, "Oh, hey, I saw you on the plane or the boat or whatever it was that they got here, and we've seen you around. Do you want to come and join us?" And then immediately we cut to there's that guy who we've been seeing everywhere. Like it's in the same scene. It's just her friend turns around and goes, "Oh yeah, there's that guy," and we focus on him instead. And the woman's just forgotten about then until the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Like, she's just not relevant. It felt like this thing, like, why are we introducing this now other than, we need to know it later? It felt really jarring to just throw it in like that as a sentence and then cut to the other mystery person instead.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think I recognised her at the end. Now you're saying it, I'm like, oh, that's where we knew her from. Because I got that we'd seen her already at the end when she was with the group. But I'd forgotten that scene happened.
Sure.
No, I buy it. It makes sense, but...
Well, like I said, it was literally just that, oh, yeah, you're that person we saw, and then waved at her, and then that was it. And then they go, oh, there's that guy who we keep seeing everywhere. Yeah.
It was clunky. It was this clunky thing just so that you'd seen her before when you see her at the end again.
It's very expositionary of going, oh, we keep seeing these two people, yet this is the first time we've seen either of them as the audience.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, is when they say, oh, we've seen him again, it's like, well, we haven't actually seen him before. I mean, they say they have. Because she lists like 4 places. She's like, oh, we saw him at the place where we were getting the groceries. We saw him at the place where we were getting this.
Yeah.
We saw him there. And I'm like, this is literally the first time we're seeing him. Why?
Yeah. It was weird to do that with both of them in the same scene.
Like, because that to me, that's where your story comes from. Build the mystery. Have them notice him the first time. You have like one of them just turn to the other and say, "Oh, he's kind of hot, right?" And just have that. Then that's fine, whatever. And then the second time, they notice him again. It's like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's mysterious. Is he scary? Is he following us? But we cut straight to like the 5th time they see him, and they're like, "Oh, maybe he's following us."
I'm gonna go confront him.
This just feels like wafer thin now. Like, I just don't believe it. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I agree, because it wouldn't have been hard to... Because we cut from London straight to them on the beach in terms of their story. It would have been hard to show us a couple of things in between.
Yeah, and no one ever questions like who this mysterious person is who's flying them out there or anything like that, which I'm sure is part of the...
Yeah, we've got this patron who's, likes us enough that he wants us to go out and do this play in Greece. We're going to go and rehearse and...
Yeah. By the way, I think that's who I thought the woman at the end was. I thought it was the person who sent them. Like not like bought paid for it, but the woman who came in and told them at the start that they were going to Greece. I thought that was
maybe
her.
You're right. Maybe I'm.
No, I think you are right. Yours makes way more sense.
You were just like, who could it be?
Yeah, and that's the only person I could remember.
Yeah.
Because it was just from the interaction at the end I got that.
There was someone that she'd seen before. Yeah, definitely that was the implication. So. I think it was her on the beach.
I feel like it just doesn't focus on the right things to make it an engaging story. Like, focus on the mystery of, is he actually following them? And then have, because it could be this, like, strangers meeting and it's the uneasiness, like, is he dangerous, is he not? And I felt like the episode never really plays with that. Like, once she starts talking to him, it's just kind of like her being confrontational in a kind of annoying way and him just being quiet. It never actually felt like, oh, maybe he is dangerous or maybe he isn't. Like, it never crossed my mind. I felt like she was jumping to a conclusion and he was just kind of being dull. Like there was no thrill, there was no suspense, there was no maybe this is the story. So the fact that it turns out that he actually is an agent who's working with the Israelis and this is all a big some setup just makes me go, oh, okay. He didn't seem that interesting. He still doesn't.
Yeah, I think they try so hard to be like, oh, man of mystery. We don't know anything about him. That maybe it goes too far.
He's just a blank slate.
He is, yeah.
He's a blank slate, and like I say, you just handle it differently. You see him. You can have him be quiet, but you treat it more like it is a little bit scary. Give him some presence in other ways. He's just, I don't know, like, I don't care about their potential romance that's happening. Like, it never makes me care about that. It never gives me a reason to care
No.
about her finding someone, if that's what we're going for here. I have no idea what I'm supposed to connect to with this story in this episode.
No, that's a fair thing. And in my experience with these, like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, there was another one that I watched. I can't remember the name of the movie now. Actually, I'm blanking on it. Most Wanted Man. It's not really about character. It is very much about the details, about the plot, and I'm okay with that when it interests me. Like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, it's very much, oh, look at all these details, look how it builds. The characters kind of don't really matter. It's all about just the mystery and what's going on, and I can be really into that when it's done well. This here, it's trying to do a bit of both, and it's kind of not really landing as well as it could be on either.
Yeah, nah, I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
watch
fair. I'm not gonna push it.
Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, I'm good. I'd like some of the music.
Yeah, sure.
There are a lot of very traditional, like, spy thing, like these sorts of mystery themes. They were nice.
All right, that's the little drummer. Yeah, the little drummer girl, if I can say the title properly. Yeah. So do not expect any more episode reviews from us. We will not be covering the rest of this, and I don't think Connor's even going to watch the rest, even though he was more positive than I am. I'm going to take a stab in the dark here and guess that.
If probably not.
Just as I thought. I damn sure it well ain't. So yeah, really not for me. Please do give us your opinions though in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that stuff helps us out a lot. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv, and you can do that over there for as little as $1. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?